Okay. Strategy number three, talking about the utilization of explanation of benefits documents. When we started thinking about this at Clarity, it almost feels like the last document in the world that you would think could be really engaging. But the more we've worked with this, there are really important reasons why we shouldn't fly by EOBs as an engagement opportunity. One, there's an unbelievable amount of data. Obviously, when we think about the membership times however many claims for preventive screenings plus orthodontia, et cetera, this is generating activity from a correspondence and touchpoint perspective in such a huge volume, but also a really high value volume because we are now able to reach people throughout the course of a year as opposed to just when kind of the cyclicality of the plan administration happens. So I love getting something in front of the member like we just talked about with an ID card, but how am I reaching them in March? How am I reaching them in October? These EOBs can be that hum of a reminder that you are in tune with what that member needs. And then when that open enrollment season comes around, we're not grasping for, how do we get back in touch with them? If a member, especially one with higher need, has been involved in their care over the course of the year, they might have gotten 3, 5, 6 messages across the year that are just encouraging their benefits and encouraging their participation. So really, really nice strategy to focus on retention with these. And again, it's, a member might be receiving, even just with annual cleanings, 2 of these a year, but on up to 5 or 6 is well within the realm of possibility of what they can do. Recency and relevance are critical with EOBs. Going to be most responsive to messages that reach them at a time that is relatively recent from when an episode took place and is highly relevant to it. For that reason, we see these huge open rates with EOBs too. If you just had your orthodontia or periodontal work, whatever that might have been, and then you get a correspondence related to it and related to your benefits, you're at this moment of heightened attention. So again, if that's something where you're including a call to action on that EOB that might look like the communications preference capture, very easy to do that one. Really an ideal opportunity with these though. The other thing that we love about these EOB documents is they have all of these little pieces of code in them. All these CDTs exist within whatever you're sending to your partner to produce the EOBs. Those are actually little clues into how can we message something that's really resonant. So what you can press on your fulfillment partner, your correspondence platform to ensure that they're able to do is say, hey, if I send you a member and their EOB has a code for an oral surgery, could you append this message to that EOB so that they get their follow-up instructions reprinted for them right there in that EOB document? That means I'm going to be getting them something within a week or maybe 2 weeks right after that surgery occurred. And it can be hyper tailored and hyper catered to whatever that member needs here. So it's been a really fun kind of, paint by numbers of if we see these codes, this is what the message should look like on the address sheet of that EOB. If we see these codes, we want it to be a different message. Maybe that's a call number to schedule a follow-up visit. And that's actually an example that we just wanted to illustrate here. So if we have a member who came in just for a dental visit, and what we want to make sure is while we're recent and relevant to that dental visit for Dorothy, we want to make sure there's another reminder for scheduling that follow-up. So getting those routine cleanings in 2 in a year, that's what we've got the opportunity to do with this. If we're not seeing that person is already scheduled, this is yet another one of the easiest ways to drop that reminder in. As you're seeing in just our mock-up here, we've got a big schedule your follow-up visit now. It hasn't been done yet. This is a touch point that if we don't use that space, we're not driving that call to action. We're not bringing that visibility to the follow-up that we need the member to complete. You're probably leaving a few thousand of those, depending on population size, but you might be leaving a few thousand follow-up screenings and engaged members on the table each year. It's a big deal. And if this is something that you're baking into your common practices, think about your EOB volume times the number of times that message is actually getting to the members. You're going to have that yield that a competitive plan might not. So again, reaching out and saying, hey, we know that you just had this care episode. We know that that can be confusing. It might have been uncomfortable, but here we are with our next piece of correspondence, and it's going to be relevant to that experience you had and have a really, really simple way to complete a next action to stay engaged.